Hi everyone, my name is Alexia Holmes, and I just want to say thank you for watching my video. This video is a follow-up to my previous video that I made regarding the loss of my mom. If you guys aren't aware, I have cerebral palsy, and my mom was not only my mom, but she was my caregiver and my best friend. And I know some of you guys are thinking that's kind of weird that she puts her mom in such a light. Well, not really, because when you have a disability, especially a physical one where you have to depend on somebody else for help, you depend on that person entirely. You not only depend on that person for physical help, but you depend on that person to help you navigate the world and be the person who you are, and they're your best friend. And I know individuals say, my mom's my best friend too. But my mom and I were so in sync that we finished each other's sentences. So we were that in sync where you could just talk through your whole entire day with her. She wouldn't say anything. She would just give you a hug and make you feel better. So I'm really struggling with that because my mom was my everything. She was my rock. And so I'm a firm believer that my mom was my soulmate. That might seem weird, but when you depend on someone so heavily, and that's the only person that you interact with, you create a bond, such an emotional bond with that person, that it can't be replaced. And I'm scared that I won't ever find that again. Like, I don't want somebody to replace my mom, because my mom's my mom. But I do want to find a man who will be my best friend, and who will protect me, and stand up for me, and have good morals, and say, yes, ma'am, no, sir, and have a funny personality, and go after what he believes in. Like, that's what I'm looking for in a human being to be my husband. And in the way that the world is going so far, I'm not sure that will happen. Because people right now are so self-centered, and they only care about themselves. And I don't want to lower my values or what I'm looking for in a husband to meet that status of being someone's wife or being someone's mom. Because even though I have standards, I think that they should be met, because everybody deserves somebody who will complete them. And if you settle, you'll never feel completed. And so that's what I am struggling with, is because everybody in my life has left me in some shape or form since my mom has passed away. So I don't have a lot of people to lean on. And the person that I would normally talk to about the people that are coming in and out of my life is no longer here. So I'm struggling with that big time. And it's not like I have not tried, because I have. And it just, for whatever reason, I get so close to making that connection with someone, and yet they pull away. For instance, there was this guy, let's just call him DD. His initials aren't DD, but his first name did start with a D. But anyways, I met DD on Halloween when I went out with my sister and her friends. He seemed like a really nice guy, like a super nice guy. He seemed down to earth. He seemed like all the qualities that I am looking for in a partner. But he kept rescheduling our date over and over and over again. And the last time he went to reschedule the date, it was because his phone interview at 6 o'clock at the night was happening, and he didn't want to miss his phone interview. I'm so confused, because who has a phone interview at 6 o'clock on a Friday night? But anyways, I digress. So he finally ends up not taking me out on a date, because that would require actually going out. But he ends up coming over to my house for Thanksgiving, because I was like, oh God, is he going to get irritated with me and kill me and rape me, and somebody's going to find me in a garbage bag? And this is because I'm not the nicest person in the world when I get blown off, so I'm like, great. So he's not coming into this situation with a positive mindset of me. So if he's going to come over, I would want him to come over when other people are over, just because I wanted to feel safe. So anyways, he ends up, here's the kicker. So he ends up showing up to my house 2 hours late. And we're having a wonderful conversation. My sister and her friends leave us alone, and we're just hanging out. And we're talking. Then all of a sudden, DD is like, oh, I have to go because my friend who is at his own house is really drunk, and I need to go over there and stop him from drinking. I was like, sweet. Alright, let me know when you're safe, whatever. Like, at that point, I didn't care. That was my already 4th time of being blown off. So I was like, whatever. And then I'm not completely sure because it happened 3 months ago, but he ended up texting me later and was like, sorry, that was just an overly stressful situation. He's like, they were too much. And I'm like, they were too much. Like, he didn't interact with my sister's friends. So how could they be too much? So I was like, whatever. You know, if somebody doesn't want to be with me, they need to at least have the audacity to tell me that they don't want to be with me. Like, it's just plain and simple. If you don't like somebody, tell them, but don't take the easy way out and make excuses. Just be like, you know what? I'm not ready for a relationship. I think you're a really good person, but right now I don't see this relationship in the cards. I would be perfectly okay with that. But I called him out. Said, you know what? I think it's because, you know, I have a disability and I have such a strong personality, and you can't handle being with me. So if you're not attracted to me and you don't think that you could be in this relationship with me, I need you to tell me. And so he never responded. He just kind of disappeared. So I'm like, great. So, here we are a couple months later. I have been on the Facebook dating app. I know that's really weird, but I'm a marketing major. So part of marketing is analyzing. And I love analyzing things. Like, it's my most favorite thing to do. So I wanted to figure out why people were going on these sites and why they were participating in a social media platform dating site. So I admit I was very skeptical going in, because like, you don't expect anything like that to turn out. But so I mentioned a little bit ago, but I have I listed some requirements that I expect out of a man that I date, and I listed them on my profile, just seeing whether or not people read them. And there's this guy, and I'm not using his real name either, but let's just say his name is Unicorn. And the reason his name is Unicorn is because when we first started talking, he sent me a picture of a unicorn ice sculpture. And that's because he went up to the mountains and saw the ice sculptures. Anyways, on to this guy. So he pursued me. He was exactly the type of guy I find attractive. He's very, like, manly and rugged and country, and so, like, maybe he's an actual genuine person. And so he is 5 years older than me, and he was like, yeah, I meet all of your requirements, and I also think you're pretty cute too. So that's how he started the conversation. So he pursued me, and we were hardcore flirting, let's say, for 15 minutes. And then he asked for my phone number because he wasn't on the site he wasn't on Facebook very often. So I gave him my phone number, and we were talking. We ended up talking the whole entire night. And I would say it was like 12:30, and he asked if I would call him. So I called him, and we were talking, and we were getting along great. The conversation was moving, and he's like, yeah, I'm a real country boy. Like, I have values. Like, I would never treat you bad, blah, 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 blah. So bullcrap. But anyways, so we had this awesome conversation. And he was like, hey, would you be open to going on a date with me on next Saturday? So the 15th of February. So I was like, yeah, I would. Like, I would. Because, like, I straight up asked him if it was okay that I had a disability and if he was comfortable with that. And he said yes. And then I said, I'm a really strong personality. And he's like, I know, because, like, one of my requirements/request that I look for is a guy with the accent, because it's really dreamy. So he started the phone call with, is my accent deep enough for you? I'm like, your accent has the slightest bit of drawl. And so he got butthurt about it, and I'm like, I'm just being a smart aleck with you. So he was like, you're mean, but I like mean. So, like, he knew my personality and what I was like, and we talked for 2.5 hours after that. I told him what was going on with my mom, with my sister, all the crap that I've endured in these past 4 months, and he was perfectly fine with it. And so, I would say for the next 4 days, we would just constantly be texting back and forth, and I thought he was a keeper, you could say, because, like, I've never had somebody take interest in me. It's always been me texting the person back first, so he would be asking, like, so how did your homework go? Are you done with your homework? And he would be asking me questions, so I'm like, this is going good. Then all of a sudden, he stopped answering my messages when I asked him if we could FaceTime. So, I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I did or said to make him stop talking to me. But I know that it wasn't a catfish situation and that he was actually who he said he was, because I actually found him on Facebook. So I don't know if I was too much for him to handle or what. But here's a message to all the guys. Or all the girls. If you don't like someone, don't just let them hang and wonder what they did wrong. Like, always have the common courtesy to block the person, so they get a loud and clear picture that you are not into them. Because as an individual that has gone through so much loss in the last 4 months, I like having somebody like affirm, like, you are beautiful. Like, I do see a relationship with you, then all of a sudden, stop messaging you. It is so shitty. So shitty. And so, just don't lead people on. Like, if you don't feel them, or you don't feel the, relationship, just let them go and move on your own freaking happy way. So, that's the development in that department. What else? I mentioned in the last video that we were getting sued. My sister and I are getting sued, so that is a good thing because my mental state couldn't handle it right now. What else? I've started back school. School is a good distraction for what's going on around me, because my sister and I have never had a good relationship. And I think it's just based on the type of personalities that we have. We're like oil and water, and that's fine. But it is also very lonely, because my sister has her boyfriend and her life, and I just feel like I'm left behind and nobody wants me. So I'm really struggling with the concept of that, and the concept of finding an individual who will like me, for me, and then also struggling entirely with the loss of my mom. Because when you are trying to figure out who you are, you turn to your parents. And now I'm an orphan. And I know people don't like that word, because there's a negative connotation to it. But that's what I am. And I just feel alone and frustrated, and I know eventually it will get better, but I just want someone to share my feelings with, and somebody that will reciprocate my feelings. So that is it for this video. And I will try to do a weekly update.